In this lesson, we're going to compare, locate, and estimate real numbers. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to fill in the perfect squares on our number line. We're just going to take the time to do the positive side first, and then if we need to fill in any of the parts for the negative, we can do that later. When we're doing this, it's really helpful if you write your square roots at a slant so that you can get them all on here. If you put them sideways, they're going to get really crowded. So to fill this in, we say that 1 times 1 is 1, and so the square root of 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4, so the square root of 4 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9, and the square root of 9 is 3. So take a minute, pause the video, finish the positive side of this chart, and then resume to check your work. All right, so go ahead and make sure that you filled in the chart correctly, and then we'll go on to the next part. So it says, tell which two consecutive integers the square root will be between. Remember, consecutive mean in order, and then integers are the positive and negative whole numbers. They're not the decimals, and they're not the fractions. The square root is in between. And this is a non-calculator. We cannot use calculators for this. So let's go ahead and locate the square root of 78. I would find the square root of 78 between the square root of 64 and 81. So the two consecutive integers that it would fall between would be then 8 and 9. Now let's take a look at the square root of negative 11. All right, so we're going to want to fill out our chart going this way. We don't have to do the whole thing, but we've got negative square root of 1, negative square root of 4, negative square root of 9, and negative square root of 16. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's find the negative square root of 11. So we're going to find that between the negative square root of 9 and the negative square root of 16. So the two integers, positive or negative whole numbers, are going to be between negative 3 and negative 4. All right, the square root of 88. All right, the square root of 88 then looks like it's right here between the square root of 81 and the square root of 100. And so again, your consecutive integers, this one's going to be 9 and 10. In our next example, it says, tell which integer makes the value of x true. And again, this is a no calculator one, so we're going to be using our number line. And notice we have a compound inequality here. We read these going backwards, starting by saying x is greater than square root of 99 and less than the square root of 120. Now, another way of looking at this is x is going to be between the square root of 99 and the square root of 120 would be another way of looking at that. So let's go ahead and take a look then, and let's find the square root of 99. Well, the square root of 99 is going to be almost to 100, not quite there. So we've got the square root of 99 here, and then the square root of 120. And see how having this number line is so helpful? You will want to, if you get questions like this when you're taking the MCA test, just take the time to make yourself the number line. You don't have to do the negative side, just do the positive side, and then you'll be able to then a lot easier find the answers to these types of questions. So it wants the integer, remember positive or negative whole number, that is going to be between the square root of 99 and 120. And notice right here we've got then 10 is the integer that's between those two values. Now this next one we have, it says let me just erase this here real quick. It says the square root of 6, so it's going to be between the square root of 6 and 25 divided by 7. And again, this would be a no calculator one. So let's first of all start by locating the square root of 6. So the square root of 6 then is going to be between the square root of 4 and square root of 9. All right. Now we've got the 25 divided by 7. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let's think. How many times does 7 go into 25? Well, 7 can go into 25 3 times because 3 times 7 is 21, but then we'd have a decimal. So we have 3 point something. So the 25 all over 7 is going to be not at the 3 because remember we had some left over, but it would be then something between the 3 and the 4. So our integer for this one is going to be 3. All right, so for number 3, notice that we've got the square root of x is between the integer 4 and 5. And so in this case right here, let's go ahead. I'm going to just erase this stuff so it doesn't get confusing. So we've got the integer 4 and 5. So we have to look for 4 and 5. And remember, we're looking for the square root of x. So it's going to fall between here and here. Now, really, there's a wide range of numbers that would fall between. So I've got, this is equivalent to the square root of 16, and this is equivalent to the square root of 25. So x could be any number between 16 and 25. So we could say maybe 17, we could have 18, we could have 24. Any of those numbers would be acceptable answers for the square root of x, and to represent our x. So for our last example, we're going to identify the closest integer approximation. And again, this is not a non-calculator, so you will want to create the number line for you to answer these questions. All right, so it says identify the closest integer approximation. So we're just going to be looking for the number, not in between, but the one that is closest to. So we're going to locate on our number line the square root of 66. And the square root of 66 is between the square root of 64 and the square root of 81, which are the integers 8 and 9. Now, it is closer, though, to the 8 than it is to the 9. So the closest integer approximation is 8. So now we've got the negative square root of 84. So for the negative square root of 84, we're going to then come down here. Let's just fill this out. We have the negative square root of 81 and the negative square root of 100. And then we would have in between, we would have the negative square root of 84. So when you take the negative square root of 84, notice it is closer to the negative 9. So it's going to be a negative 9 point something, maybe a negative 9.2, but it's asking for the integer, so which is a positive or negative whole number. So in this case, the closest integer is negative 9. And then for our last one, we have the square root of 98. So the square root of 98 is going to fall between the square root of 81 and the square root of 100. So we have the square root of 98 right here. And now notice it is closer, though, to the square root of 100. And so this would be, let's see, so it would be, our integer would be then the 10. So for this one, it would have been the number, or the decimal would have been like a 9 point, maybe 9.8 or something like that, because it's awfully close to the square root of 100. But it's asking for its closest integer, and the closest integer then is 10. So in this lesson, we took a look at how to compare and locate real numbers on a number line.